Not every club loves the summer off-season, particularly when more powerful rivals are trying to raid your best assets or when contracts are beginning to expire. It can leave teams constantly needing to rebuild or face potential disaster. In our latest scout report, we've picked 3 sides who desperately need to react fast in the market and propose some solutions that can help get them back on track. Let's go. Crystal Palace. We start with Crystal Palace, who appear on the cusp of a meltdown after concluding the season with 15 out of contract first team regulars. That includes the likes of Scott Dann, Patrick Van Aanholt and Andros Townsend, who have all been staples at Selhurst Park for the past 5 years. Michy Batshuayi is going back to Chelsea, Eberichi Eze is out with a long-term injury, and surprise surprise, Wilfried Zaha wants to move on once more. And then there is the small matter of finding Roy Hodgson's successor. In short, Palace's chairman Steve Parish has a massive job on his hands. Top of the agenda will be driving down the average age of the Premier League's oldest side. A good place to start could be with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Chelsea's 25-year-old midfielder. Loftus-Cheek has history with the Eagles, having scored twice in 25 appearances at the club during the 2017-18 campaign. With 3 shot-creating actions per 90, including 1.25 key passes, he proved so eye-catching in Croydon that he found himself on the plane to Russia. A mixture of injuries and competition, however, has meant since suffering heartbreak in Moscow, Loftus-Cheek has only collected 1,229 minutes of league action at Stamford Bridge. And last season he ended up at Fulham, appearing 30 times as the Cottagers succumbed to relegation. He may have only scored once and posted 0 assists, but an expected goal and assist per 90 rate of 0.22 suggests he was unlucky not to contribute more. That was certainly true of his finishing, having missed his XG by 2.3. A lack of composure in front of goal was ultimately to blame, with Loftus-Cheek's solo strike coming from 37 efforts with 8 on target. Still, 1.6 shots per 90 is a solid foundation to build on, while his 2.2 dribbles and 5.1 progressive carries per 90 demonstrated glimpses of his stylish best. After so long on the injury table, Loftus-Cheek can be forgiven for not firing on all cylinders in West London. The current Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has spoken glowing terms about the midfielder, with the two set to meet in pre-season. But rejoining the Blues may never be tougher now they're European champions. Therefore, finding a permanent home elsewhere could be in his interest, and no one could use his drive and creativity more than Crystal Palace. It worked perfectly last time, so why not try again? It's also imperative that they find a new centre half. While there is hope that both Scott Dann and Gary Cahill sign new deals, they are 34 and 35 respectively. And with the £25 million addition of Mamadou Sakho almost certain to leave, they currently look incredibly light at the back. In fact, Cheku Kouyaté was forced to play there for the majority of last season, with injuries wreaking havoc on Roy Hodgson's team sheets. A name that has been strongly linked is FC Cologne defender Sebastian Bonal. Valued at £13 million and aged just 22, he perfectly fits the profile that Steve Parish is likely to target. And the Belgian international even recently admitted he would be crazy to ignore a move to the Premier League, with Norwich City also interested. Especially with FC Köln only just securing their Bundesliga status via the relegation playoff last term. Despite the Billy Goats' tough campaign, Bornau has obvious qualities. Standing at 6'3", he won a massive 2.8 aerial duels and made 5.9 clearances per 90. And despite his potentially awkward height, the former Anderlecht star proved efficient in the tackle, getting the better of 56% of opposition dribblers faced. Only 6 more players in the German top flight were more proficient in this regard. Obviously, it can't be said what kind of football Palace will be deploying next season, but under Hodgson, they developed a pragmatism that proved quietly effective in grinding out results. One of Bornau's key strengths is his long ball ability, completing 3.9 per game, and under the current Selhurst Park structure, that asset will prove incredibly useful. At the right age and price point, he could be a steal for Palace. Either way, we should see Bornau in the Premier League someday soon. Lille. Last season, Lille managed to make history by fending off PSG to claim Ligue 1. It was the first time in 4 years Le Championnat didn't head back to the capital, and testament to Ledoux squad building and unity they managed to emerge victorious. But no sooner had the dust settled on their title celebrations, it's clear Lille needs to start rebuilding once more. French rivals Nice are locked in negotiations for their manager Christophe Galtier, while Boubakary Soumaré and Mike Maignan are the first of many high-profile departures expected this summer. Replacing Maignan in goal will be arguably their toughest challenge. Last term, he kept 21 clean sheets and posted a monstrous save rate of 79%. Post-shot XG also suggested he prevented 4.8 more goals than expected. Considering their titles built off the back of an incredible defensive effort, Maignan deserves a huge amount of praise. Still only 25 and with 149 Ligue 1 appearances to his name, for 15 million euros, AC Milan have found themselves a bargain. Lille won't be breaking the bank to replace him, which makes finding value in the market vital. An early name being linked with the goalkeeping vacancy at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy is Trabzonspor keeper Uğurcan Kaçır. Reports out of France claim that Lille's Turkish contingent of Burak Yilmaz and Zeki Çelik have recommended Kaçır, who has been scouted by Liverpool over the past couple of seasons. Also 25, he once again has been the standout keeper in the Super League, this time keeping 13 clean sheets with a save rate of 79.7%. And with 118 saves across the campaign, the 5th most in the Turkish top flight, Uğurcan clearly had to earn his keep. Any deal will start around the 15 million euro mark, but considering his save rate hasn't dipped below 76% in the past 3 seasons, Turkey's number 1 looks well worth the investment. However, if Lille are after someone with a little more top level experience, Cagliari's Alessio Cragno would be a better bet. Although slightly more expensive than Kaçır, Cragno has played 124 times in Serie A and has been capped twice by Italy. Compared to his potential predecessor Maignan, he is a little less effective off his line, only completing 0.4 defensive actions outside his penalty area to the Frenchman's 0.7. However, his long ball completion rate is stronger at 43% to 35%, while the two share a similar excellence when it comes to reflex ability. Cragno made 125 saves last season at 3.7 per 90, which is the 2nd most in Serie A, and a post-shot XG of 2.2 shows how vital he was to helping the Sardinians maintain their top-level status. Cagliari aren't going anywhere fast, having not finished in the top half of the table since 08-09. Lille can offer Champions League football and a taste of life on the front foot. Marseille are reportedly interested in the 26-year-old too, so Le Dogue would be wise to add him to their list of considerations. Inter Milan. It's no secret Inter Milan are facing a difficult financial situation. No sooner had they been declared Serie A champions, an emergency $300 million loan was required to cover their debts. Their Chinese owner, Suning, then announced they wanted to make £80 million surplus in the market, meaning some big stars could be cut from the San Siro squad. For Antonio Conte, this wasn't good enough, and the Italian promptly quit. Lazio's Simone Inzaghi may have arrived, but it appears just a matter of time before Achraf Hakimi is sold, with Chelsea and PSG closing in on their €70 million rated star. Others could follow, while Matteo Politano and Andrea Candreva have already left for €21.5 million combined, along with Ashley Young to Aston Villa. And Christian Eriksen's professional career looks indefinitely on hold after suffering a cardiac arrest. Ultimately, Inzaghi has his work cut out remoulding the squad but still turning a profit. So where to begin? Replacing Hakimi is a monstrous task. He scored 7 times and posted 8 assists in Serie A last term, completing 3 crosses, 1.2 key passes and 0.9 dribbles per game. They are numbers that Chelsea's rumoured offerings of David Zabacosta or Marcos Alonso struggle to get close to. Prior to signing a new 3-year deal this month, Real Madrid's Lucas Vázquez could have been a safe bet. But if Inter really want to roll the dice, they should consider PSV's Denzel Dumfries. The Dutchman is currently enjoying a career-making Euros with the Netherlands, scoring twice from right wing back in their opening 2 games. Though fans of the Eredivisie won't be that surprised, with the 25-year-old having posted 8 goal involvements in Eindhoven last term. Just like Hakimi, his offensive flair is plain to see, with 0.9 dribbles and 1.4 key passes per match. But he balances this out with an excellent 5.4 defensive actions per game, whilst also winning a huge 4 aerial duels per 92. His main problems then are discipline, with 1.6 fouls per 90, crossing and ball retention, regularly posting a pass accuracy below 80%. However, stepping up to a side like Inter Milan could provide the perfect foundation to unlock his undoubted potential. And now aged 25, there may never be a better time to leave PSV. Recent reports suggest he has a modest release clause of just €15 million, with Everton lurking too. But if it continues to shine for the Netherlands, then Inter might find that price point too hard to resist. What also seems clear is they need a new central midfielder to bolster their ranks. And according to Gazzetta dello Sport, that man could be Cagliari star Nahitan Hernandez, who is also attracting a lot of attention from Leeds United. Hernandez has been likened to N'Golo Conte thanks to his ferocious work rate that saw him complete 625 pressures last season, the 5th most in the Italian top flight. The Uruguayan skill set is so varied he played almost every position across the midfield and defence for Cagliari, meaning that while on one hand he completes 2.9 tackles and interceptions per 90, he also posted 2.4 shot creating actions, including the 4th most crosses into the box of any Serie A star. Was his finishing a little stronger, he would have contributed more than his 4 goal involvements last season in Sardinia too. Like Conte, Inzaghi prefers a 3-man midfield with wing-backs, meaning Hernandez's versatility would fit right in under the new coach. His presence would also allow Brozovic and Barella to arrive in more advanced positions. And at 25, the former Boca Juniors man is just approaching his peak. Latest reports claim up to €35 million is what is needed to sign him, but with Cagliari said to be interested in both Raja Nainggolan and Andrea Pinamonti, a compromise could be on the cards. But if stability is what they're after, then Nandez might just be their man. So those are our recommendations on how Crystal Palace, Lille and Inter Milan can start to rebuild their squads this summer. What do you make of our suggestions? Do you think these clubs are facing difficulties at all? Let us know down in the comments. As always, make sure you're liked and subscribed to Eurofootball Daily with notifications switched on, and we'll see you next time.